Good job being on. Everybody else who's late, and let this be an announcement to everyone who's here, who's already inside the community. Make sure you're on time. I used to give some leeway, 3 to 5 minutes for people to come in, but my time means too much. So be here on time. Okay. All right. Cool. And you guys should be the same. Anyway, this experience that I had, it set everything off, but in a way that I haven't experienced before. And what the absolute fuck happened to me, I don't think anyone that I've been able to recognize or anyone that I've been able to meet has been able to experience this thing. And I'm going to teach it because that's the way that I operate. I go through a thing, I experience the thing, and then I teach it. Kind of like you guys, right? Thumbs up. I think as a martial artist, we have this kind of thing where whenever the intensity of a situation increases, we kind of settle down. But I've also seen people who aren't martial artists do this, and I think it's situational. Like I've seen like moms, the moment that the shit goes freaking crazy at the restaurant, the baby's throwing stuff, spilling drinks, all this. I've seen the parents that just can't handle the fucking pressure and they crack. But I've also seen parents at the same time where the drinks are being spilled and the child is screaming and everything's just falling apart, and they're like, just eating their freaking lunch, like, oh, they'll get to it. They're just so cool, they're so calm, and they're so collected. Being cool, calm, and collected, that is the state of receiving. Okay? I'm going to tell you this right now. If you can remember those three words, cool, calm, collected. If we can have you in a walking meditation from the time that your eyes open up to the time they close, and you can remain cool, calm, and collected no matter what the fuck is happening in your reality, you've won the game of life. I promise. You've won the game of life. Have you guys experienced so much life to the point where you're not surprised by anything anymore? No? Like, don't get me wrong, it's not that you're not open to a pleasant surprise. But if someone does something that you just knew that they were going to do that, or it doesn't surprise you that this individual acts this way, eventually you just get to a point where you're not surprised. Right? Remember from my previous call, I had said, hey, anybody who comes into your life, accept them for who you are. Just make sure you put them where they belong. You remember that? Yeah, it's pretty good, right? It's the same kind of thing, but I'm talking about now. If you guys can write this down in your notes, I have so much to teach you, so much to bring to you. Surprises are not surprises. Surprises are not surprises. If somebody does something and they get the same reaction that they usually get out of you, and you say, why did you do that? Why are you surprised that they did that? That's just what they do. Right? So now that we know more, and now that we're starting to become a little bit more wise, if surprises are not surprises, then that means that not everything should automatically, emotionally cause a reaction from you. If you know that this is who they are, this is environment is what it is, at what point do you get to the point where you're done trying to change people or environments that you can't control? See, what's going on is this is what I call emotional and mental maturity. You see people that have matured in age, but they haven't matured in their emotional state and their emotional being to be able to regulate their nervous system, and they act like a 5-year-old whenever shit doesn't go their way. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah? Okay, cool. Got some smart people here today. I know we do. So I'm going to be I'm going to be speaking to you in such a way that's going to be very much resonating with that mature version of yourself. I'm going to teach you a few things, but I'm going to share with you that epiphany that happened to me in an experience that I just had last night that has set everything in alignment on a deeper level. And I'm just like, I know exactly why that happened. You know how I go though. I get to speaking, I get to talking. Make sure as you guys are taking notes, write down what you feel. Not just what I say, but what you feel. Because you can hear something thousands and thousands and thousands of times, but you really only need to feel it once in order to create that shift. Okay? So that's my intention today. I want to shift you in such a way that causes you to move forward in your life fearlessly. And after I share this experience that happened with the understandings that I brought out of it, you're going to be able to have exactly that. That sounds good? Moving forward in a fearless life? No, fuck yeah. Oh, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you there. Now, for some reason, every time I hit shoulders, my neck, it just tightens up. I got these traps back here. So if you guys know any freaking massage therapists in Florida, Heather said she's too good to massage me. So I'm like, fuck. Kind of shit out of luck. You guys ready to begin? Show me your pins. Pins, good to go. Pins, good to go. Awesome. There was once a scorpion, and the scorpion came to a body of water. Big body of water. And the thing about scorpions is, as badass as they are, believe it or not, scorpions can't swim. At least that I've seen. Maybe you guys have seen differently. But scorpions aren't known to be the strongest swimmers. But fortunately for the scorpion had a really, really good friend. And this really, really good friend was a turtle. And turtles are pretty solid swimmers. Anybody ever seen one swimming in a lake before? They come visit you in your yard or anything like that? Ever since I moved down to Florida, man, I got turtles everywhere. I go walk around my water and I get to see them. They're very interesting creatures, like very interesting. And the scorpion had to get to the other side. And he looks at the turtle and he says, "Hey, would you mind if I sat on your back and you can give me a ride to the other side of the lake?" And the turtle says, "Well, unfortunately, I actually just got here. I'm going this way. But there is a frog. There's a frog a little bit further down the way. If you go ask the frog, he's headed that direction." Anybody ever seen a frog in Florida before? Or a frog in just the East Coast? I moved here from Colorado. We don't really get much frogs in Colorado, but one of the very first nights I moved here to Florida, I walked outside to get something out of the car at nighttime, and I see what looks like a rock that's stuck to my car window. And then the rock started moving. It was a frog. It was a very, very interesting green, neon green frog. It's like National Geographic. It was amazing. So Scorpion crawls his way down the shore and finally gets to a point where there's the frog, and the frog's enjoying the sunset, really taking it in. And Scorpion introduces himself and said, "Hey, listen, I just got to get to the other side of this lake. Would you mind if I climbed onto your back as you swam across the lake?" And the frog looks back at the scorpion and he says, "You know, I'm a very kind frog, I really am, but I've heard about scorpions, and you guys are known for stinging things. And I don't know, when you get out into the water, if you're going to panic and accidentally or purposely start to sting me. So I know you got to get to the across the other side of the lake, and I just don't know if I can trust that you wouldn't sting me if something goes a little bit crazy." And then the scorpion says, "You know, you got a point. However, if we're in the middle of this water and I sting you, well, then we're both gonna die because I can't swim. So that would be stupid of me to sting you in the middle of the water." He says, "You know, you got a point. Okay, fine. I'm going to go against my intuition. Mistake number one. I'm going to go against my intuition. I'm going to let you climb on my back, and we're going to swim across to the side of the lake. Just promise me you're not going to sting me." Scorpion says, "I promise I'm going to try not to sting you." Did you catch the key word there? Try not to sting you. My intention is not to sting you. Well, frog didn't hear the word try. So as they start swimming, they have an awesome conversation because, you know, scorpions and frogs talk to each other. Just stick with my story, okay? And they're having a good conversation, talking about their kids, and they're talking about friends, they're talking about memories. And as they start to get closer and to the middle of the water, that conversation starts to die out a little bit, and the water starts to get a little bit more heavy, and the tension in the air you could cut with a knife. By the time the frog pipes up and says, "You know, why are you so quiet?" Boom, there's one sting, and another sting, and another sting, repeatedly. And as the scorpion was stinging the frog was like, "How could you do this? We're both gonna die right now. How could you do this? You said you weren't gonna do this. What were you thinking? Why would I do this?" And he's just thinking about all of these things. And as the pressure of the moment really starts to get there, the scorpion finally musters up and says, "I am so sorry that I stung you as much as I did not want to sting you." Key words right here. It's just my nature. It's just my nature. Well, as they started to sink in the water, there's something that the frog had, fortunately, that the scorpion did not. The texture of the skin of the frog is very rubbery. And while the stinger penetrated the frog, because of the skin absorbed the venom of that scorpion and did not let it penetrate inside of the organs of the frog. Frog didn't know it, but the frog was like, why am I not dead yet? This is a miracle! Oh my gosh! And he didn't know what was going on. He didn't know the miracle. The scorpion had a very rough time trying to swim, didn't make it. Fortunately, the frog made it to the other side. And it was almost like it sweated the venom, the toxin out. But he learned something very valuable that day. The frog could not, listen to me now, hate the scorpion for the scorpion just doing what a scorpion does. Does this make sense? Scorpions sting. That is what they do. The frog very, 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 very well could have pointed the finger at the scorpion and said they lied, they cheated, they used me, it was an advantage. But the frog went against the intuition. The second thing, did not listen for, I'm going to try not to hurt you. Do you see what's going on here? See, what I'm telling you guys is in life, you're going to come across scorpions. You're going to come across snakes. You're going to come across butterflies. You're going to come across all different kinds of people. But what I'm looking for you to understand is surprises are not surprises. I opened this call by saying that. Surprises are not surprises. If you are continuously allowing yourself to be hurt, to be taken advantage of, that's not that individual's fault. It's your fault. Because you continue to allow yourself to be misled and taken advantage of. See, this is my Friday masterclass here. And there's a lot of people that are already inside of my community. So you guys are a little bit more advanced beyond this because you understand that, oh no, that ain't me, but I remember when. In this Friday class, I like to invite people that aren't inside of the community to come get a taste of this. So what I'm looking for you guys to understand moving forward, no matter what stage of life that you are at, if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. Let me say this again. If you fight for the reason to stick in the situation that's poisoning you, well, then you get to rely on the poison. It's interesting. My intention today is all about decisions. Who here believes that with one decision, one clear decision, it can change everything in your life? Yeah? Who's made some decisions? Maybe since we'll say the beginning of the new year, you made a fucking decision. But it's the decisions that you continue to make that make the biggest difference, would you say? I mean, think about the ex-girlfriend, the ex-boyfriend, the ex-friend that's like, oh my God, they're cheating on me. They're such horrible people. I'm totally done with that. And then within the next 2 weeks, they're right back there. They definitely were not done with that. But in that heat of the moment, in that height of emotion, they decided that they were done, but they didn't continuously make that decision beyond it. Write this down if you haven't wrote it down before. Make the decision, then make it again. Decisions are made more than once. Now, ironically, life is going to continue to set you up with situations where you meet a lot of scorpions that sting your ass because you have yet to make the decision and then remain and sustain in that identity until your new reality shows up. You guys have been making decisions ever since you came into my community, and you continue to show up here because every single time, every single action that you show up here, it's a dedication. It's an enrollment to your future. You're enrolling yourself into your future every single time. Write that down. Enroll into my future. Every day you got to make a conscious commitment to enroll yourself into what you can become, what you can experience, what is meant for you. Because if you don't enroll into your future or a version of yourself, you're automatically signing up where you think you're going to have more surprises, but you're just surprised that there's no more surprises. Why is there no any surprises? Well, come on, jackass. What are we doing here? Right? Who here has heard of hypnosis? Anyone? Yeah. I had the pleasure of sitting in the room over the last 2 days with a gentleman by the name of Dom the hypnotist. You guys may know him. You guys can follow him on Instagram. He's considered to be one of the world's greatest hypnotists. One of the greatest. I also sat with a guy by the name of Eli Wild. He's a brilliant man. And then another gentleman who's new to the scene. He's later in life, but he's new to the scene, man. He's getting it. And I'm speaking with Dom the hypnotist, and what he does is he reprograms the subconscious mind. And ironically, what I talk about is you don't need to reprogram the subconscious mind. You just need to impress the subconscious mind. We're both talking about the same thing, just in a different way. And I look at Dom and I say, hey, Dom, you're pretty good at this. I've actually always wanted to be hypnotized. My best friend is actually a hypnotist, and he has a bone to pick with me because he can never put me under. Has anybody ever been hypnotized before? Anyone? No, not. Let me go ahead and check the back of the room. Anybody been here? Oh, Marina has. Don. Hey, Don, what up, girl? Holy shit, didn't even know you guys were in here. Good to see you guys. Well, what happens is when you're put under or you're put into trance, there's this thing called suggestibility, right? And suggestibility is how suggestible you are to being hypnotized, like how easy somebody can be put into trance, right? And there's different ways of hypnotic, speaking and hypnotists. Well, there's this thing called a shock induction. And a shock induction is, you may see it online or you may see it around YouTube, but it's super fascinating actually. An individual will reach out and like touch your shoulder and say, sleep, and they'll just touch, boom, and then they're out. Or sometimes they'll grab your hand and they'll yank your hand and they'll say, sleep, and they're out. And I've always been so fascinated by it because with hypnosis, you can go into someone's mind, plug in and unplug whatever needs to be done, and then snap them out of it, wake them up, and they can have an entire new identity. How cool would that be? It's a very unique skill. And Dom the hypnotist, he's the best, outside of Mike, of course. I look at Dom and I say, Dom, at any point you want, feel free to go ahead and try to hypnotize me. I just haven't been able to be hypnotized. So 2.5 days goes by. This is last night. We go out to a nice steak dinner. Everything is going great. And I actually have these glasses right here. See these glasses? Pretty nice, right? And I was wearing them on my head like this because, you're out in Miami and the sun and glow and everything's great. And we're walking, about maybe like a 15-minute walk from the restaurant to the front lobby of this giant condo. And for anybody who's been to Miami, there's a lot of pretty people in Miami. A lot of pretty people. It's like, wow, I fit right in. You guys would too. But as I was walking into the lobby, everybody turns around to go ahead and break away. And what happens is Dom, he turns around and says, hey, Brandon, let me see your glasses. And he reaches and grabs my glasses. And then he's like, oh, these are super cool. Let me see your hand. I was like, yeah, sure. He grabs my hand and he pulls my hand. He says, sleep. It didn't work. And there's a reason why. See, it didn't work for many reasons. But one of them is because I have the nervous system of a martial artist. And the last thing you want to do is try to scare a martial artist or yank his hand. Because what ends up happening is my nervous system is taught, I don't have a flight and I don't have a freeze. I have a fight. And I've been training in the martial arts for God knows how long. And the moment he yanked me, the moment I went to go put him in a wrist lock, ladies and gentlemen, I unconsciously was going to break this dude's wrist quick. And I stopped myself, but it triggered him because he could see that I was not going under. So he started to amp it up, right? He's like, I was like, I don't think this is going to work. He's like, yeah, it doesn't work. Look at my hand. Sleep. Nothing. He's like, just hold your hands out in front of you like this. I was like, fuck it. I want to get hypnotized, dude. I really want to get hypnotized. Put my hands out. And he's like, all you got to do is think about your hands not coming closer together and not coming together like this. And mind you, this is in the middle of a lobby. You got a whole bunch of pretty people walking all over the place. You got Eli. You got another gentleman. And he is trying to hypnotize me. But my mind is impenetrable. It's not happening. And as I'm holding my hands out, he's trying to hypnotize me to bring my hands together. And I said, Dom, I'm going to tell you right now, my mind inside of my head is saying, fuck this dude. We're not submitting to anything. I literally said that out loud. And it got to a point where I unconsciously started to mock him. Holding my hands out like this, it's like, oh, see, Dom, they're not coming together, dude. You must fucking suck. Like, my mind started to cause me to start to attack him. And it got so bad to the point, ladies, where beads of sweat are running down his face. This is the world's greatest hypnotist, right? Falling off of his cheek onto his shirt. He's like, Brennan, here's what I need you to do. I gotta lay you down. He's like, you want me to lay down? He's like, yeah, lay down. I was like, all right, fuck it. In the middle of the lobby, big old condo, cars, valet, all the things. I'm laying down on the middle of the ground. Why? Because I'm trying to get hypnotized. And my mind is like, not gonna fucking happen. So ladies, gentlemen, I'm laying down on the ground. Everything's going great. Eli brings out his phone. Jeff brings out his phone. They're filming. And I'm closing my eyes and I'm trying to drop. And Dom's like, Brandon, underneath your back is a giant metal plate, and it is the heaviest, most powerful magnetic plate, and your back is also metal. And on the count of 3, you're going to try to stand up, and you will not stand up because you will see that you are now a magnet. 1, 2. I stood right up and I was standing on my feet looking at this dude in his face. And it felt awkward. Ladies, I thrive. Gentlemen, I thrive in awkward situations. I love making people feel awkward. I felt the awkwardness because I was so bad to the point where I was like, dude, do I act? I felt like a chick faking an orgasm. I'm not gonna fucking lie. It was like this shit was wild. And I was like, oh man, maybe I should act, maybe I should. And then he says, Brandon, I want you to understand, when I hypnotize UFC fighters, when I hypnotize NFL stars, when I hypnotize CIA agents, they are the best at going under because they have a fantastic imagination. What does this say about you, Brandon? It must mean that you don't have a fantastic imagination. I said, Dom, you're correct. I have an extraordinary imagination. Like, my mind was so fast. Nope, not gonna happen, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. And it gets to a point where he finally says, you know, Brandon, as much as I would love to hypnotize you, you're not suggestible enough in order for that to happen. It's not that I can't, it's just right now with the environment and this, and he starts labeling these things, which I do believe. And I felt almost bad. I said, Dom, by no means, I don't mean any disrespect. I appreciate your advancement. I would appreciate that. And he's like, don't worry about it. But see, what ended up happening is after everybody dispersed to their cars, I was left with me, my briefcase, and valet. Eli goes up to his room, Dom and Jeff take off, and inside of this, I have this thought inside of my head that says, Brandon, do you have a really shitty imagination? For the very first time in a long time, I felt a sense of insecurity. Me. And I was sitting there, I was like, do I have an imagination problem? Like, man, am I just fucked up? Can I just not be hypnotized? And everybody else can do this way. Everybody else can do that. And maybe what he said is, you have a hard time releasing things and accepting things in. And then for some reason, I started thinking about all the goals that I've been trying to be in alignment with and manifest. And I'm like, man, maybe I have an issue where I have a hard time accepting things. My voice, my mind chatter started to kind of play this role. And I was like, did this motherfucker put something in my head that's causing me to feel like I'm not Master Johnson? And as I'm sitting here and valet pulls around the car, I get inside of my car and it's just quiet. I have a 4.5 hour drive back to my house from Miami. As I'm driving, I get this feeling inside of me that I love. You can even see it in my eyes a little bit. I want to fight. I want to get aggressive. I have this feeling inside of me that my adrenaline shot and my nervous system understands that in a situation like that, it's because, Brandon, you're about to go to work. You're about to go do some things, whether it's a competition, a self-defense, a situation. My nervous system was just holding and harboring. It felt like I was the god of war. And I just wanted war. And while my body felt like I wanted to release, my mind was calm, but my hands were shaky. It was a little jittery, and I was driving, and I was just contemplating. I was rolling around. I was grappling with these thoughts in my head, and there it is. I got it. Ladies, what I'm about to teach you, I have not seen anybody else teach. Gentlemen, what I'm about to show you, I have not seen anybody come to this epiphany. This is the very first time I'm ever teaching it. Congratulations, because I have recognized something. I shared it with Lindsay a little bit earlier today, but I didn't highlight it. My ego stuck up for me. I want you to pay attention to what I just said. My ego, in a moment where there could have been a threat that my body felt, where it could have been a situation that I did not feel secure in, my ego stepped up and protected my mind from any external threat. See, in this moment, instead of my ego telling me what was wrong with me, on a subconscious level, my ego stood up for me. I don't mean to put this in any kind of way to offend you, but I want you to listen to me. Hypnosis is for individuals who are insecure. Listen to my words. There's something wrong with me. I haven't fixed it. I need to go see a hypnotist to go into my mind and fix me so that I can release and finally be well. I'm not calling the insecure individuals wrong. No, it is a tool for success. Listen to my next words. You cannot hypnotize somebody into a thing that they already are. You hear what I said? You cannot hypnotize someone who's already where they need to be. The reason why I couldn't go under is because I've already been there. The reason why I couldn't go under and become hypnotized is because I did not pedestalize Dom. Whenever you are hypnotized, it's because the individual of influence has you in their frame. Think about your father or your mother when you were growing up. If they said do something, you would do it because you're in their frame. Dom, world-class hypnotist. Eli, 9-figure entrepreneur. Other individual, worth a boatload of money. But yet I did not pedestalize their success over who I am. Surprises are not surprises. This is what I want you to understand. You are the greatest. You, who I'm talking to, you are the best. You are already where you need to be inside of your mind and inside of your concept. You already are there. Now, that's not to say that you're not being hypnotized on a daily basis by other things, falling into a trance of a belief system. But pay attention to this next thing, because this is where it gets big. Ladies, I'm going to show you, gentlemen, I'm going to show you, I'm going to share my screen with you. If you guys really quick could, at the top of your page, while I pull this scene up, at the top of the page, can you write down the word Venom? V-E-N-O-M. Venom. There is a Marvel character. I'm a dork. It is what it is. There's a Marvel character by the name of Venom. If you guys know who Venom is, inside of the chat, put I do. If you guys know who Venom is, inside of the chat, put I do. And if you even appreciate the character, you can tell me that too. Give me one sec. I'm pulling up this scene. Oh, hold on. Just pushing buttons. Give me one sec. Because inside of this scene, inside of this movie that is Venom, I'm going to show you something, but then I'm going to bring a catalyst to it, and then I'm going to close it off with it, and it's going to bring something for a teaching point. Might get a little loud here in a second, but I'm going to share my screen right about now. Here we go. All right, and just so you know, the neighborhood kids are at my house. Okay, I got the Kool-Aid house. Somebody said it earlier today. I got the Kool-Aid house. Okay, so I'm going to show you this quick clip here. I want you guys to watch this clip, and then I'm going to explain it in a way that you may not see.
Do not
Everybody sees it? Thumbs up.
Huh?
I'm gonna pause it really quick. Is it glitchy at all, or can you guys see it okay? Is it a little bit glitchy, kind of? All right, well, I'm gonna let it load. Hopefully you guys can get the gist of it, but shit's about to pop off, so lock in with me for about 2 minutes, 52 seconds, okay? Good to go? Watch this scene, super cool scene, and then we'll come back to it. Come on, YouTube. Here we go.
Stay put. Hey, Eddie.
Who the hell is this guy?
I'm gonna need Mr. Drake's property back.
Oh,
What are you doing?
I'm putting my hands up.
You are making us look bad.
No, I am not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Why would you do that?
Because it is a very sensible thing to do.
Eddie.
I will take care of this myself.
Eddie, where's the bug?
Take him down.
I'm so sorry about your friends. What is that?
Not what. Who?
Oh. Shit.
Outstanding. Now, let's bite all the heads off and pile them up in the corner.
Why would we do that?
Pile of bodies. Pile of heads.
What the shit, man?
What the hell? Dude, how did you do that?
Apparently, I have a parasite.
So cool, right? So cool. So let me go ahead and make sure no extra videos start. But okay, let's go ahead and talk. Let's break this down. First things first, let me make sure I can see everybody. Hold on. Who's ever seen that movie before? Thumbs up? Let me know in the chat if you haven't. Venom was great and hilarious. Yeah, it's a funny movie. I want you to think about your ego being Venom. And obviously there's you. And what I'm looking for you to understand is in the beginning when he's like, remember this? That is symbolic for you going back and forth with your ego. Back and forth, back and forth. No, this is the way. 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 But then, even before the door opened, Venom said, don't open the door. Don't open it. He says, what? Opens the door. He's like, who are these people? I don't know. What do they want? I don't know. And the moment they let those taser darts go, Venom protecting Eddie is his name, right? Protecting Eddie. And he's like, what is this? Did you hear what Venom said? He said, not what, who. Oh, that's good. See, what's going on is that ego is protecting Eddie from the things and the threats that are outside trying to invade him, trying to seduce him, trying to take him. And what happens is that ego and that complex went from fighting to protecting. The moment that Dom yanked my hand, my ego went from fighting to protecting. This is huge. Because now I recognize, as I was driving home, Brandon, If you're not going to let the world's greatest fucking hypnotist in, okay? If you're not going to let Mike in, who's also a hypnotist, if you're not going to let anybody in, then it's you and your ego that you two have to make an agreement that says, ego, Venom, I'm going to let you back in, but you're going to stay within my margins. You're going to stay within my boundaries, and you're only going to protect me. And when it's time to let the beast out of the cage, I will happily do that. What if, ladies and gentlemen, the harmonization of the thing that you've always been trying to escape is the key to experiencing God tier levels of manifestation and confidence? What if that voice that was always trying to say you're not good enough is waiting to be mastered? Is waiting to have a time and a point and a place that says don't open that door, and you open that door and it turns out that the ego is never meant to be killed. It just needs to be understood. What if you don't give your ego control over what happens, but you put it in a trained position that then says, when I call and I open your door, then you can come out and you can wreak fucking havoc. See, because thank you, Carolina, I'm not talking about being hypnotized. I'm not talking about validation outside of myself. I'm talking about, okay, my frequency has just quadrupled because I'm surrounded by people that are in places where I aspire to be. And while they're not better than me, they are better at doing specific things. But I came to a point and I recognized that, Brandon, you've never fit in no matter where you've been. Brandon, you've never been the same. Brandon, you've never been able to just sit back and do it the right way, or that way, or this way, or the commercialized, promoted way. Brandon, you've always been Master Johnson. But now it's time to master the ego. See, I came to a point where if I'm not going to let anybody in because I never have in that specific way, then that means that I need to utilize the venom that's inside of me in order to reach the level of prosperity, love, and understanding in this moment. But it's not by carrying hatred towards an aspect of who I am, because you can't divide yourself. There is no separation. It's understanding that that part and that piece inside of you that everyone, including a part of yourself, tried to kill is actually just waiting to be summoned and put into a position. To be summoned, to be put into a position to protect you away from the people who don't change, the environments who don't change. When the ego says, don't open that door, what it also is saying, don't give your energy to that person. Whoa. When the ego says, don't open that door, that's the ego inside of you saying you're worth more than this conversation with a person who's just siphoning your fucking energy. You're worth more than this job that you just continue to tolerate. You're worth more than the past that comes up. It's crazy because any kind of doubt, fear, worry, or shame that has tried to come up from that evening, oh, maybe I should have done this or that, a voice interrupts, and it's a new voice, but it interrupts, and it's the voice of this ego that decimates any kind of fear that was subconscious. Now, ironically, out of something that I so desperately wanted to be hypnotized, I found a deeper level of myself, and I found an agreement that I have made to myself that says, okay, the dark side of Master Johnson, if you want to come out to play, well, you're going to play on my playground. What I'm giving to you, ladies and gentlemen, in this moment is there's nothing fucking wrong with you. There's no more repairing yourself. There's no more healing yourself. There's no more trying to fix things out of insecurity. There is acceptance completely of who you are, what you are. And then accepting that, ladies and gentlemen, you've never fit in for a fucking reason. Things have never been easy for a fucking reason. You've always stood out for a reason. Don't we get it? It's because you're not put here to go down a path. You're put here to be a pioneer to the path that you're creating, to make your own way, to be in charge of your own success. If you were meant to fit in, you would have by now. but you were born to stand out. So I need you to assume this role and say, there is no part of me that I am trying to escape. I just need to train my ego into its place and know that my ego has my back. Not even the world's best hypnotist can penetrate this mind. Huge. Who feels that power there? Feels that energy there? Yeah? That's what I'm trying to impart onto you, impress onto you right now, that girl, man, you guys are already there. And at a certain point in time, you got to stop bitching about what happened, stop bitching about what could happen, stop being in fear about this or that. We need to make some decisions, and then we need to recognize that I make the decision, and then I make the decision right. This is my life. And in my life, I make decisions. I'm not looking for permission from people who don't understand me. They never fucking have. They never fucking have. So why am I putting halt on my life for people's thoughts or opinions on what I should do in my life when they never fucking accepted me for who I am in the first place? Wake up. Come on. Who here feels like, yeah, this is it? yeah, this is what I'm trying to tell you. So what I've done, and you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. I'm going to share my screen with you one more time. We've got about 15-ish minutes. For those that are already inside of the community, obviously you know the drill. I'll drop the replay. I'm going to drop that YouTube clip. I'll also drop this document that I created for you. Let me see if there's any new faces in here that might be able to. So it looks like Raquel. Hey, Leila. I'm so happy when I get to see you guys. Raquel, if you're enjoying this, we'd invite you in to join the community. Best fucking investment you can make into yourself. Don't listen to anybody else. Listen to me or my ego. One of the fucking two. I promise I'm not that bad to look at. I'm not that bad to listen to either. All right? All right. Cool. So let me go ahead and open up this right here. This is the note-taking portion, but I used ChatGPT to help me out a little bit. I went ahead and edited it to what I wanted it to be. You guys, thumbs up when you guys can see my screen. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and put this inside of a viewing. Did I do that? Did I do it right? No, shit. Hold on. Let's hit this button. Bam! All right. Rocking. We're rocking. All right, guys. Lock in for about the next 15, okay? Lock in. I'll be dropping this, but I put it into some visuals and some auditory for you. So the power of making decisions. Here we go. The subtitle essentially is how one bold choice can collapse time, unlock destiny, and activate the God within you. That choice is acceptance of yourself completely. In other words, we're not going to pussyfoot around anymore. Like at a certain point in time, guys, you got to make a decision. I'm good enough. I'm here. I'm now. I'm dedicated. I have a mission. I'm called. I'm chosen. I'm fucking sick and tired of trying to figure out why I'm chosen. I'm just going to accept that I am, and I'm going to bring my genius to the world. That's decision number one, acceptance. So right here, your future doesn't respond to how you feel. It responds to what you decide. Huge. It doesn't respond to how you feel because, guys, who here's been feeling pretty good for the last few months, but you're still waiting on your million? Where's my $1 million? Okay? We need to make a decision in an identity that says, I'm enough. I don't need anything else. I'm here. I'm now. I'm anchored. And I am convicted inside of this identity that because I am, everything is. So nothing truly shifts until you decide that it will. It is shifting. It is shifted. God doesn't move in confusion. He moves with clarity. Remember on our call, well, I give a Monday call to my higher level guys about outcomes. We can talk about that later. But when you decide, you send a signal to heaven and earth, I'm ready. There's so many people that I've coached through the years. Still, some of you guys right now. Brandon, what should I do? Brandon, what is this? And what do I always say to you guys that are working with you? Make a fucking decision. Make a decision. Oh, but I'm scared. Then stay scared. Oh, but I don't really like. Then make a decision. Make your fucking decision on what you're going to do with your life and move forward with your life. Or quit your bitching and go back to where there's no surprises. This is your life, and if you were to die fucking today, getting a little intense, but just rock with me, you just spent your entire life dabbling with greatness, and you never fucking acted on it. I pity that person. You have something great inside of you, so make your decision and then make it right. Quit being a pussy. How's that for mentoring, huh? Okay. So every next level in your life is waiting on a clear decision from you. It's that simple. Make a fucking decision. Make a decision. Point two, a made up mind is magnetic. Power isn't found in overthinking. It's found in ownership. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Oh my God, my ego is trying to beat me up. I can't do anything. I can't go that place. I can't start the business. I can't. Well, then shut the fuck up. Wrap yourself up with some bubble wrap and go back to your 9-to-5 job and quit your bitching. Okay? Fuck! Ah! I just want to see you guys fucking succeed, man. So the more committed you are, the more magnetic you become. I want to see you guys win. I care about you. I want to see you win. And to think that you're just a few decisions away, a few feeling states away, a few clarity sessions away from your entire life changing, then it is your fucking moral obligation to set your family up for life. Because you're the one who did it, while everybody else was bitching, moaning, and complaining about what they could do. Fuck them weak-minded motherfuckers, dude. High frequency decision, okay? Collapse time and pull opportunities into your field. Wealth, purpose, and power all respond from conviction. Who feels my conviction right now? Yes, it's because I don't believe I know and I care, and I'm taking you somewhere. I want to see you get to this epiphany that says, dude, there's nothing wrong with you. So decide fully and watch how quickly your life rearranges in your favor. Point three, there's only 4 points. Delay is the distraction of the old you. In other words, waiting feels safe, but it costs you everything. Would you rather have safety or would you rather have power? Come on, because within power comes the real safety. Delayed decisions keep you looped in outdated patterns. And you know how big I am on patterns. When you postpone action, you prolong pain. We know this, I'm just making it clear. Heaven responds to decisive energy, not hesitation. Break the loop, choose the version of you that's already free. Embody that, and then let your ego protect yourself. Fuck them, fuck everybody else. I'm here, this is my life, this is what I'm doing. And it's the decision, guys, it's the energy. And every decision reinforces an identity. Now watch, the lack of making a decision is still a decision. You see that? If you're choosing to not make a decision, that's a decision within itself. So when you decide, you don't just change your life, you reshape who you believe you are. All lasting change begins with identity. Who you decide to be determines what becomes or what is possible for you. When you choose to act in alignment with your higher self, everything accelerates. We know this. So your power is already here, but it's waiting on you and your decision to rise. And now that I shared with you, just like Venom, everybody has that Venom inside of them, has that villain, Venom and that villain. Maybe that's the protective mechanism that is there for you to tell the person who you need to tell to fuck off. Maybe that's the version that needs to enter here, that needs to tell that scared version of yourself, don't worry, I got it. There's a reason why you're scared. I'm not. Let me enter the frame. Right? There's power here. So your moment is decision is now, right? If this stirred something in you, it's not just motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, it's fucking confirmation. God is calling you into a higher version of yourself. One built on alignment and not fucking anxiety. So the next step is, one, if you're not in the community, join the most powerful identity shifting community on the fucking planet. I know it. I fucking know it. And I know those that are already there, you know it too. You wouldn't be there if that wasn't the case. So obviously, for those that don't know what you're going to receive inside, you can read this list. Mentorship, mind repatterning, spiritual strategies, yada, yada, yada. All this great kind of stuff. What you fucking need is a new identity. You don't need new systems, new strategies. You don't need to update. You don't need to heal. You need to know exactly who you are. So it's basically this. The old you hesitates and the real you decides. In any part of your guys' life that you are hesitating, the reason why life is hesitating to bring you the manifestation is because you have yet to decide. When you make a decision, then let the universe and God go ahead and manufacture miracles to bring you exactly what the fuck it is because you made the decision. I was just talking to Shauna earlier today. I was like, Shauna, you're not waiting on God, baby. God's waiting on you. And then I reactivated her, and then I got off the phone with her, and she's ready to burn down the fucking world. So, I believe there's only one new guy. Miss Raquel, I was so excited to give this presentation that I don't necessarily have the actual link. Pookie, what are you doing to my damn document? Pookie, how'd you do that? Hey, leave my document alone. Anyway, Raquel, if you want to join the community and you want to be with the rest of us, just fucking message me, okay? If not, more power to you. This is what I need you guys to truly grasp from this moment. If you're sick and tired of going through the same loops, what if that voice that's calling you and telling you that there's something wrong with you is actually a voice that's saying, I don't want control, I just want to be understood, and I want you to put me where I can serve you. It's always unconditional love. Stop hating that aspect of you. Stop fighting with that aspect of you. Open your arms and say, I accept you. And together, I'm going to put you in a position. I'm going to put you in a place. I'm going to enlist your services and your help to make sure that my mind is impenetrable. That with you, my own personal ego, I spent too long trying to evade you. And the only thing you needed was to be accepted, and I surrender to you as you surrender to me. We were never put here to hate ourselves into success. We were never put here to hate aspects of ourselves, to kill our ego, or to try to separate our ego. You can't do it. You were put here to harmonize the dark and the light into a unification of Holy Spirit. That's what we're here for. So there's no need to feel sad and feel sorry for all the horrible things that you've done to your ego and all the horrible things your ego has done to you. You get to spend the rest of your life making up for lost time. You get to spend the rest of your life accepting who you are, and then you don't need anything or anyone or any strategy or any session that can set you up with the success that you have. You know you feel the truth in your heart. Do you feel it? Yes? Yes. Each and every single one of you are millionaires already, billionaires already. Whatever reality you can see and feel and desire, it's there. But with this key that I just gave you, have you heard anybody ever fucking tell you that? Have you heard anybody say that? Because me, when he pulled my hand, how fast I almost broke his wrist and snapped his fucking jaw, ladies. But my mind, and as I started to go deeper and deeper, I have an extraordinary imagination. And so do you. My name is Master Johnson. You can obviously see why. You're not here to master what's wrong. You're here to master the ego. Ego is edging God out, and you are the God to bring that ego back home. It's been casted out, so bring it home. Bring it home. Love yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy your genius. Fuck everything and fuck everyone else. You now are a unified force for good. Act that way, be that way, speak that way, walk that way. You have no problems, only opportunities. Let somebody try to fuck with you now, because I have hypnotically hypnotized you to be one with yourself. Can you feel the shift? Talk about a hypnotist, baby. I'll see you guys soon. Be well.